Prime or composite? Prime numbers are divisible by 1 and itself. Composite numbers are divisible by numbers, or factors as we also call them. And then composite numbers are also do not have a remainder when you divide them. Okay, so let's look at an example to kind of understand this a little bit further. So here we have example 1. A vehicle has 4 lug nuts on each tire. Is 4 a prime or composite number? So we take the number 4 and we see what we can divide 4. So we know for sure 4 can be divided by 1 in itself. Then we have any numbers in between 1 to 4. So we have 2. And then we ask ourselves, can 4 be divided by 2? Which it can be, as it's equal to 2. So we would also say 2 is also a prime number of what it could be divided into. So therefore, we would say this, since it has this 2, not just 1 and 4, it's considered composite. So let's look at another example. Example 2, we have a vehicle that has 5 lug nuts on each tire. Is 5 a prime or composite number? So we have 5. We know 5 can be divided by 1 in itself. Now, we can't divide 5 by 2 because that gives us 2.5, and that's not a whole number, so that doesn't work. Now 5 divided by 3, that also doesn't give us a whole answer. And now let's look at 5 divided by 4, and that also does not give us a whole number. So we would say that 5 can only be divided by 1 in itself, and therefore it's prime. Now let's look at another example. But before that, let's actually go over a few more common prime numbers, which are, we'll do this in order, which is 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, and 23. So when we're dividing numbers, it's important to remember that the number 1 is not a prime number or a composite number. Example 3. Is 43 a prime or composite number? So 43. Now we look at 43 divided by 2. And we know that 43 is odd and 2 is even. And 2 can only go into even numbers. So this does not work. So it can't be divided by 2. So can 43 be divided by 3? So let's go ahead and look at this. 3 can go into 4 one time. So 3 times 1 is 3. Subtract, we get 1. Then we bring down the 3 to get 13. 3 can go into 13 4 times. We get 12. And we subtract, and we get 1. Now 3 can go into 10. Let's bring that down 3 times. And you can see that we're going to continue to keep going, and therefore we can say that 43 cannot be divided by 3 as it's not a whole number. Now we look at 43 divided by 4. We remember that 4 times 11 is equal to 44. So this will also give us a number that's kind of less than 11, but a decimal. Now we try 43 divided by 5, which that doesn't work as it's not ending in a 0 or 5. And then we look at 43 divided by 6, and we remember that 6 times 7 is 42. So it's going to be a number larger than 7, but a decimal. So we can say that 43 then can only be divided by 1 in itself, and would be considered a prime number. Is 93 a prime or composite number? So we have 93. Now let's see. Now 93 divided by 2. Now 93 isn't even. So therefore we know it can't be divided by 2, because 2 can only go into even numbers. Now we look at 93 divided by 3. So let's try it like this. So 3 can go into 9 3 times. 3 times 3 is 9. We'll subtract to get 0. Bring down the 3. Then we have 3 can go into 3 1 time. So 3 times this 1 is equal to 3. Subtract, we get 0. So therefore we have 3 and 31. So we would also say 93 can be divided by 3 and 31. So we have 1, 3, 31, and 93. So as it can be divided by other numbers other than 1 in itself, we would say that this is a composite number. And that would be our solution to this problem.